Welcome to season 3 of On the Spot.
With the growing economic, political, and social realities in Africa, many young people continue to seek greener pastures out of Africa. Now, this has led to a booming business of irregular migration and scam employment agencies that have hoodwinked a lot of unsuspecting victims to pattern away with thousands of dollars. My guest today, who is a leading icon as one of 75 faces of the United Arab Emirates, is the first female delivery driver in the UAE and the founder of Dubai Getaway Travels. Well, she, like many, was scammed into traveling into Dubai to take up a non-existing job offer and left with no job, no money, and no one. So how did she make it? She joins me from the UAE to share her experience and her story. She is the beautiful Gift Prayer Solomon, an entrepreneur, travel consultant, and one of 75 faces of the UAE. This is On the Spot. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Gift. I am so happy to have you on the spot. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Stella. Thank you. I'm honored.
It's such an amazing work, amazing woman that you have turned out into. I was super bummed, when I heard about your story, and I was like, oh my God, I should have interviewed her when I was in Dubai. But I was like, you know what? We're still going to do it anyway. Anyhow we do it, we're going to do it. So, Gift, your story is just like that of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Africans who leave their home country in search of greener pastures. Take us briefly through on how you started this journey to the UAE.
Well, first, I'd like to say thank you for the platform and thank you for the opportunity. I love sharing my story because I feel like it's a way to actually inspire people. Because lately, a lot of youth or young people, they see things, they see people where they are, they just tend to think that there's no backstory behind.
Absolutely.
So being able to share the story to motivate people actually means a lot to me. Well, my story started a couple of years ago when I decided to move to the UAE. Before then, I was born into an average family, not like an average family. I wouldn't even say an average family, like below average. My parents literally struggled really hard to make sure myself and my siblings got what we needed growing up, not what we wanted. So it got to a point when things weren't going as it used to, it keeps getting worse. I decided to stop schooling and just go somewhere. A friend of mine told me about Dubai. Dubai, there's a lot of stuff here. You can get a job. I mean, I've never traveled. I didn't even have a passport. I've never traveled out of the country before. Well, eventually we started planning. Eventually, I got in touch with an agent. They told me, okay, everything is all set.
Yeah.
So from getting a visa to arranging all the jobs, they said the job's ready. I said, okay, good. And I went to my parents. I went to them. I had to tell them, of course, I got a job. Everything is all set. That was the only reason. It took a lot of time because I had 3 other brothers and I was the fourth and first daughter. So just imagine convincing your elder brother that you want to travel to a country where everyone knows Dubai is tagged as a city of prostitution for Nigerian ladies.
Yeah.
Eventually, everything came up together. It was a struggle. Even them, they had to assist me to got loans from friends, microfinance bank, and eventually I came to Dubai.
So when you told your parents that you had a job waiting for you, was that really the case? Did you have a job? And how were you able... So first of all, was that the case? What then happened when you landed in UAE?
Well, when I landed the UAE, first things first, I called when I got to the airport because before I left, I had just $300 after taking care of the rest things, everything, ticketing, visa, just $300 with me. So when I got to the airport, everything, the whole thing changed from the airport. Actually, I just wasn't seeing the signs because I felt like, okay, Gift, you're in Dubai. So I called the person that was supposed to pick me up because I was meant to understand someone was going to pick me up. only for the person to tell me, oh, you have to take a taxi. You have to come to another state, pretty much. It's called Sharjah. So I had to take a taxi. When I halfway through, I realized the money that I came with was already halfway gone because we were traveling interstate on a taxi. And when I got to the place accommodation, I mean, when I left home, at least I still had the bed to myself.
Yeah.
I still had a room. But on reaching there, the scene wasn't the case. The bed was on the floor. The mattress was on the floor. The morning came, the first day, second day passed. I was like, okay, I'm still feeling it. And third day, I was like, when am I starting work? Like I got in touch with the person I was supposed to get in touch with. When am I starting work? And then they're like, oh, you need to make a CV. I was like, okay. CV, like, do I need to start applying for a job now or I already have the job? Why is it that it's now I need the CV? I still didn't know the process, so I made a CV. And then they told me, okay, you have to make different CV, waitress, sales.
Wow.
I was like, okay, am I looking for a job? So eventually they said, yeah, the job is not there. You have to look for. So the story changed. So from me having a job that was supposed to come, the reverse was the case. I had to start all over with my money gone and everything. There was no written arrangement. I didn't have proof. It's just my words
Against theirs. This is On the Spot. We'll take a real quick break and we will be right back.
Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, is the leading institution in Sierra Leone's effort to combat and control corruption. Our dedicated team is committed to preventing corruption through public education, rigorous investigation, and prosecution, which has seen Sierra Leone make remarkable progress in the anti-corruption ranking. We climbed 22 places in the Transparency International ranking and score over 70% for 6 consecutive years in the Millennium Challenge Corporation Scorecard. ACC operates toll-free hotlines for reporting corruption and ensures protection for informers and witnesses. We also establish solid whistleblower protection and reward scheme to recover ill-gotten gains. Together, let's fight corruption and uphold integrity for a better future.
All right. So welcome back to the show. I have with me Gift Prayer Solomon. I actually love her middle name, Prayer. So I'm going to be calling her Prayer on the show. So I have Prayer here with me on the show. So Prayer, you got to Dubai. You found out that the job that you were supposed to get was non-existent. You had spent your little $300 that you had on you. You realized you had to do like a shared space. And eventually things that had dawning on you that you had been scammed into coming into the UAE.
With time, I realized I had nothing. I couldn't even go out for interviews. I couldn't go out. Like where I was not even the center. It was in Sharjah, a state where I need to travel to get to the place most of the interviews are. I literally became a girl that begs.
Wow.
Like friends back home. I will call them. They're like, I thought you actually have a job. What happened? I was like, no, I have a job. They've not paid me salary yet. The lies keep going on and on. It got to a point where, because when you go to Dubai, when you come to Dubai, you tend to have a 3-month visa. That's what I had.
Yes.
It got to a point where I was searching for jobs. This time the temptations were serious. Sometimes some people would actually offer me money for sex, to be honest.
Wow.
But I just found myself like, I can't do this. If I start, there's no going back because this is the part I want. And my family, the thought of my family was, so that went on for a long time. And it got to a point where the visa was almost expiring, the 3 months visa I came in with. That was a lot of problem for me. At this point, I came down to looking for a cleaning job, housekeeping, just anything that will make me get a stay, like get a visa.
How then did you how did you get your first job then? How did you get it?
I met this friend of mine. Her name is Petite. She stays in the town, like in town in Dubai, Marina precisely. So she would always call me. And then I love to take pictures. So even those times I was always dressing out and taking pictures and posting on Instagram. So I met the girl. She was really nice to me. Most times she would give me money. She would help me with food. She would tell me, okay, come to my working place. I'm almost closing. Let's go out. So we go. I always do that. So one time she told me, yeah, there's this people. They always do their meeting. The HR, they always do the meeting in our restaurant. Would you want to get into it? I was like, are you serious? Of course, I asked her what CV should I, because I had all the CVs, different CVs, all lies. All like, which CV? Waitress now. I said, okay. So I took my waitress. I went to the restaurant. On that day, I waited for them. They finished the meeting, and she told them, because she was really nice. So she told them my friend is looking for a job. And then that day, luckily for me, they just called me in the meeting of all, like in the middle of the HR, all of them. My CV was like, God help me. And I just went there with nothing. But then they asked me questions. They were really nice. And then they told me, okay, go into the restaurant. Someone will show you around. They showed me. They asked me, are you comfortable working with guys? Are you comfortable doing kitchen work? Because sometimes you need to do wash up, like
Dishes,
wash.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm good. I did this before. I just want a job. 2 days after they called me, told me I got the job. I was excited. After over 6 months, or almost 6 months of looking for a job, I was happy that the salary was good. Not good, but then.
But it was a good start. Going from nothing to something. I'm going to hold you here, prayer. Okay. We're going to go on another break and we'll be right back. This is On the Spot.
Who knows what might happen tomorrow, next week, or even next year? But we do know that with Staco Insurance, whatever the future brings, we'll be there when you need us most, with outstanding customer service and prompt payment of your claim. Fire, motor, general accident, marine, life and medical. For now and for tomorrow. Staco Insurance, a passion for high standards.
The National Minerals Agency was set up in 2012 by an Act of Parliament, and in 2013 we started operations. We have the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources, that by constitution the minister is responsible for the natural resources of this country, but that's the policy formulation wing of the mines and mineral sector. Then we have the NMA, was established to be the technical professional regulatory wing. So if you take it into context, we are actually the custodians of the minerals of this country. Diamond, bauxite, rutile, iron ore, chromite, you name it, including the newly discovered minerals as well, which we're still evaluating whether they're in economic quantities. So our job here preliminarily is to ensure that we maximize the benefits all Sierra Leoneans derive from these mineral resources that God has given us.
All right, so welcome back to the show. So pray. Finally, you got this job. You finally got some money. After 6 months in Dubai, hustling it out. How was it? Because eventually from there, you've come now to becoming one of 75 faces of the UAE. That is a big feat. How did that journey happen?
Well, when I got the job, I was super excited. This time I had proof. I was wearing my uniform back to back. So over time, I started practicing. I mean, the job wasn't easy because remember, I don't have experience. When I got the job, because it requires me to be talking to customers, taking their orders over the phone, and I had a really hard time. Most times I would talk to people because my accent, you know how it is being Nigerian, right? I mean, I dropped and I was in Benin. I wasn't even in Lagos. If I was in Lagos, I probably would have had the opportunity to have the posh English kind of. I was in Benin. A lot of struggle. Most times my pronunciations were wrong. So I'll talk to customers. They would be like, can I speak to someone that speaks English, please? Most times I'll go home crying. Most times I'll record myself speak, listen again, go on YouTube, watching a lot of videos that help me improve my communication skills. That went on for some time. And afterwards, I got better. And over 2 years, I got promoted to a store trainer.
Wonderful.
From there to a supervisor. And afterwards, we usually have the town hall meeting every now and then in the same company. And then the CEO was talking and he was like, We are open. If there are any ladies, if you know any lady friends that wants to ride a bike, be a delivery rider, because we're a delivery-based company. So, and then they were like, if there's anyone come to be an all expense paid, I don't know, without thinking, I just picked up my hand.
Of course, when you heard all expenses paid out, that's like, okay, good. I'm part of this, definitely.
I got that. I started training. The training was a lot of process. Took me about 4 to 5 months to get a license, because I mean, it was like a surprising thing for them seeing a lady, like they'd be like, "Are you in car or bike?" I said bike. And that time I had to sign a waiver that says it's okay for a male instructor to actually train me, because there are no ladies instructor for bike.
Yeah, so you got started that with the delivery service. How was it, and how receptive were customers when they realized that their delivery person is a woman?
Initially, I was shy and also nervous most times because the road are really big. Sometimes I drive somewhere and I have to call my colleague, can you come back and help me pick me, because I don't know the road and I'm map blind. I didn't know how to read the map. So with time, I started like warming up to the whole thing, got my confidence, because I was still a new rider. I got my confidence. Sometimes when I deliver to people, some of them are very excited. They'd be like, "How did you come? You came on a bike?" Yeah, of course I came on a bike. And they're always, ladies, they're always very receptive. Always. And there was this long-lasting impression of one of my deliveries that actually is very difficult for me to forget. It was one time I delivered to a group of friends, guys. I think they were having a party, so they ordered pizza. When I got there, one of them came to the door to receive. When he saw it was a lady, the first thing he did was he just left the door open for all his friends to actually see me. And when they saw me, they're like, whoa. For a minute, I was shy, I was shy for a minute. And eventually I just warmed up. Hi, good evening. Here's a pizza. So that day, I just felt like, gift, you're doing this, own it.
Yeah.
And then my confidence just came. I walk into any room to deliver my pizza and I leave. And it's been awesome.
How does it feel being recognized as one of 75 faces of the UAE? Because that's a really big feat.
Like very honored. Sometimes I look back on like how I started. I'm just a girl that came into this country 6 years ago with $300, with nothing to her name, no family, no friends. Even when I got the call, they said HSBC wanted to sponsor you like as one of the 75 years, like for real. Before then, I got a call from Reebok, like, oh, like for real. So all the recognition stuffs, sometimes they feel like unreal to me, because I don't know how I got here, but looking back now, I know it took a lot of confidence and a lot of discipline to actually be here. And being Nigerian in a country where male dominates, and in an Arab country, Nigerian precisely, I mean, it's a big deal, and I feel proud of
And
it.
you have well represented your country, especially when, sometimes you would have Nigerians being connotated with or being related to something negative, but having not just you being a woman, but also being Nigerian, showing that there's just so many good that can actually come out of Nigeria. It's a big feat, it's a big one. So well done and congratulations with that one. Being the first ever in the history of UAE, United Arab Emirates, to be a female delivery driver. It is something, it's so important, because we have to start breaking down some stereotypes that this is a male-dominated field, or only the men can do X, Y, Z. And now you venturing into this has clearly opened so much doors that you never in your wildest imagination ever thought would ever happen. So congratulations, well done, and you really honestly deserve that and more. And aside from this job that you're doing, which you're still doing, right? Gift, you're still doing it, are you?
So no, I don't work for the company anymore. But then right now, should I say this is exclusive? I'm working on something, because a lot of ladies, especially here in the UAE, are very comfortable with ladies. Like, sometimes you want to receive your food, you tend to want to go in and wear something comfortable, because there's going to be a man behind the door. So it's going to be really cool if we could get more ladies out there that actually does deliveries to make everything like better and then comfortable for everyone. So we can have. So I'm working on something. So apart from Dubai getaway travel, cooking something, yeah.
Wonderful. I love that. So you're trying to get a lot of more women doing exactly what you have done. That's beautiful. So now you just mentioned Dubai Getaway Travels. That's like the business as well, business venture that you started. And that also just like, your delivery service work that you started also just by accident also happened. How did that happen?
Well, Dubai Getaway Travels, it's actually a company that's very dear to me because it actually came from my struggles here in the UAE. Comes from different aspects. First, how I got here. I mean, a lot of people are still ignorant about the whole thing. We as a company right now, what we do is when you come to us, can we get a job? We tell you straight up, we don't offer jobs, but we can give you assistance to get something. Because I know my personal experience. If I had somebody like or a company where I could actually go to and then I get questions before moving, that would have been awesome. I didn't have that. So that's one. And during my years of struggling, because I mean, I've got the hustling spirit in me. And I know I had a lot of responsibility back home. So I had to get an extra job. So one time I went out with some of my friends' family that came in. They were leaving and they gave me, I think about $200, $300 again. They squeezed it in my hand when they were leaving. I was like, okay, this can actually be a side hustle. This is a lot of money. So with time, I started like, okay, I started doing it part-time. During my off days, I'd have people come into town, I'll take them around. From then I started like giving like packages to them, doing the visas and stuff. Then I used to like contract other people, outsource for the visa and the ticket. So eventually, 18, I decided to like register my company, Getaway Travels. That's how it came, and from then till now, I would say we've helped over hundreds of Nigerians and people outside different countries to come to Dubai, have a good time at a very affordable rate and in a very genuine way. Right now, we currently don't have packages for like group tours, but we design like before now we used to have deals for like 300,000, 350,000 with a ticket, hotel, a couple of tours, and also airport pickup and drop off. But right now we don't have that, considering the rate of the tickets, it's gone higher. So we create a package for just the hotel and the tours, and the tickets we leave it open because sometimes some people they have their preferences in airlines. We just leave that open, depends on what they want. So right now, if you're coming to Dubai, contact Dubai Getaway Travels, and trust me, sometimes I do the tours myself. I'm their favorite tour guide, and it's always fun.
Yeah, so definitely, please, if you are making a trip to Dubai and you want a special tour, like I want a special tour, so definitely I'm going to be utilizing Dubai Getaway Travels. But I think that you'll be in an amazing space when you actually do get to use my guest, travel agency, and she's just been doing so much and so well. So for people who are out there, what would be your words of advice to them?
First, my advice would be I don't want to put it out there. Sorry to agents that does like employment from home. I'm not a fan of still dates because I feel like I haven't been in the UAE for 6 years. I feel like you can actually come to the UAE, get a job you want, and then sometimes you even get the kind of jobs you get from home countries, like direct employment, the ones that are genuine. If you are lucky enough to get a genuine one, the ones that you get most times they're like cleaning jobs, sales jobs. Most times they're not the kind of job you actually want. So I feel like it's way cheaper if you just come into the country, look for a job, get a job, the company does your residence visa for you, and you start working. That saves you the risk of losing your money, gives you the satisfaction of the job you want, and also you just feel you're safe. Everything is on you. So well, here in Dubai Getaway Travel, sometimes what we do is whenever I see an email or an inquiry, I'm coming to look for a job, I tend to take it personal. Most times I do voice notes just to explain because I want to be able to give the advice I didn't get when I came. That's one. And generally, I would say leave your comfort zone. Sometimes our comfort zone is risky because when we get too comfortable, we start adapting to stuffs that is not okay. I mean, also, I would say be consistent. Whatever you're doing, just keep, if you're hardworking, just keep going for it. Never give up. Don't give up. I had the choice, like I was pushed enough to the stage where I needed to have given up, but I didn't. And here I am today, and I'm still pushing, I'm still working to be better. So if you're there, you want to migrate, or you want to live wherever you are, be in Nigeria, anywhere, feel free to. If you have the resource, or maybe you have someone that can help you, go for it. And if you're doing well in Nigeria or in your home country, keep doing what you're doing and don't limit yourself. And this goes to the ladies. Sometimes we limit ourselves a lot. Most times there are no gender tags to anything, like to jobs or stuff. But we just tend to, like, I'm a lady, I can do this. No. So don't limit yourself.
Yes, do not limit yourself. Thank you so much, Prayer. You really are so inspiring, and I'm so happy that I got to have you on my show. And this is really the essence of why I do what I do. Highlight super amazing people who, against all odds, somehow, find a way to succeed in the midst of all the chaos around them. And that is exactly what you have done, Prayer. This is On the Spot. Well, coming up next are my final words. In my final words, life throws us along paths that may seem so bleak and challenging. It's most times within those challenging paths that lies the keys to the realization of our being and calling. It is therefore important to see challenges as stepping stones to the next level and trudging through even when it seems impossible. My guest would never have become the African sensation that she is today if she had given up or allowed her circumstance defeat her. You have a choice to choose between fight or flight in every situation, which would ultimately impact the course of your life. Would you choose to stand and fight till you make it? Or would you choose to give up and dwell in self-pity? Only you have the answer. And only you can make your life into a story that inspires others. Thanks for watching. Remember, you are only as great as you're willing to work for. So till next week, when I'll be back, keep talking, keep watching, keep it on the spot.